Remember the early 2010s when we were all promised an immersive gaming future with virtual and augmented reality? We were all excited to put on a headset and relive our favorite games in first person. There were a ton of new VR games and console being announced. Google had its own Daydream project for supporting VR on Android phones. Facebook acquired Oculus in one of the biggest tech acquisitions of all time. But it all came to a screeching halt. There were reports that consumers were barely using their VR headsets. Studios cancelled the development of their upcoming VR games. What happened to the future of gaming? What happened to the promise of an alternate reality of gaming? What went wrong? That's what we hope to explain in today's video. Hey guys, I am your host Ananthan and let's roll. Let's start with one of the most basic hurdles of VR headsets. That's user experience. First off, a lot of people suffered from motion sickness even after 30 to 40 minutes of VR sessions. The bad quality of the early game mechanics and graphics didn't make things any better. Even as a media consumption device, the VR headsets had a problem of lack of good quality content. Lack of content is a major fact and we'll get back to it. This was the time when 360 cameras were in their infancy and even if its footage was good, it had very limited user base in an already niche segment. So manufacturers didn't have any incentive to make any better products. Another big problem is the physical aspect of the VR headsets. They are too big and bulky for people to use them for long periods. It gets uncomfortable to wear for long gaming sessions. Personally, I am the kind of person who will go back home, crash on my couch and play games on my PlayStation to 4 to 5 hours. Setting up a VR headset is also too much work for me. Trust me when I say this, VR isn't for lazy bums like me. And also you need a decent space to set up and play games with a VR headset on. It's not a luxury I can afford living in a rat hole of an apartment, and I assume that's the case for most of the targeted audience of virtual reality gaming. Next up, the major roadblock in VR's way is the lack of content and hardware. This is the classic predicament of chicken and egg. You need a well-made quality headset to access and enjoy VR content to its fullest. At the same time, you need quality content to make use of all the hardware you have dumped all your hard-earned money on. A lot of brands started pushing out VR headsets every other day during its infancy, but there was not enough quality content to use the hardware properly. So people were not interested in buying any new hardware. This resulted in companies being reluctant to both push new hardware and make better content. Until companies launched standalone devices like the Oculus Go and the Oculus Quest, users were required to have powerful graphic hardware to power and run VR games. These headsets even needed users to set up sensors around the room, and even the room needed to be fairly big. Laptops that came with the namesake VR ready branding with poor support for ports and terminals didn't make things any better. VR support for a major operating system like macOS was poorly executed by many brands too, which stopped a major subset of people from adopting it. If the early adoption of VR was properly handled back then, things would have turned out really well for the entire industry. VR being such a new technology has also played against its growth. It was way overhyped to be the future of everything. Like I remember seeing news about a new VR game or hardware launch every other day. People's expectations skyrocketed from all the guerrilla marketing from the new and upcoming brands. And when they started experiencing mediocre or half-baked products, it was not taken lightly. No one wanted to pay a premium for something that was in beta. Even when companies started picking up the pace with the product development, it backfired badly in their faces. When the brands started pumping out products, people didn't upgrade them at the same pace. It was too much for people to keep up with the new technology that was too niche to begin with. In my honest opinion, I see the applications of VR to best suit a commercial market than being a consumer tech. VR can be a fun group activity and it's hell lot of fun when experienced with your friends. I had the most fun with virtual reality when trying out the VR arcades when I was traveling abroad and visiting malls. I wanted to see the arcade culture pick up here in India so badly. Even the VR industry internationally started realizing the potential with the commercial usage of VR, and there were a lot of places popping around the globe which offered VR experience at an entirely different level. Like all good things, this had to come to a brief and sad end with the pandemic hitting everyone. Next up, we have brands sabotaging the industry itself. As soon as they saw numbers dipping, a lot of brands either pulled support or completely abandoned their VR projects. For example, Google, who is popular for abandoning their lesser loved projects, has abandoned both of their Pony 3D and Daydream projects in recent years. With Android 11, Google ended support for their Daydream project, which basically enabled Android smartphones and portable headsets like Oculus Go to run VR content. Valve, the parent company of Steam, has stopped development for a lot of virtual reality games it announced back in the day. Steam VR is still up and running but with very limited user base. Facebook's acquisition with Oculus is a completely different nightmare. You need to have a Facebook account to use the Oculus Gear you have bought. With all the privacy concerns with Facebook and how they handle user data, this wasn't well received. All these shenanigans from the brands have only resulted in people not adopting the VR technology. The final reason why VR is dying is because people aren't just interested in VR. Yeah, you heard me right. As a writer was researching for this script, he approached a lot of people as to why they don't own a VR headset or simply didn't want to. Most of the reaction from people have been that they were simply not interested in the tech. As much fun it was, no one cared enough about the tech to spend $300 or plus on a dedicated VR console or headset. They preferred to rather spend the money on a PS5, Xbox, or save more money to build a gaming PC. I know VR is a very niche segment and I'm not denying all the merits to it. But it's just that the tech it's not interesting enough to become mainstream. With that, we get to the end of this controversial topic. If you'd like to see more videos like this, let us know in the comments below. While you are down there, try hitting the subscribe and like buttons too. I am your host Ananthan and until next time, ciao.